Tonight on Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Some pretty mild conditions across the entire state of Iowa, and these warm and dry conditions will continue the rest of the week into Friday, when those chances return Thursday night into Friday, which will quickly diminish, giving us some above average temperatures going into next week. And looking across the state, we have some pretty above seasonal average temperatures: 42 in Spencer, 45 in Fort Dodge, 45 in Ottumwa, 45 in Burlington as well. So pretty warm for this time of year across Iowa, and I'll have some more updates on the local weather coming up for you shortly.
Plus, Nicole has your national forecast. All that and more as this Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 edition of Si's Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Broadcasting live from the studios at Iowa State University, the Iowa State Meteorology Department brings you the latest weather from across the country and out your front door. This is Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Good evening. I'm Jax Stelzer, in for Stefan tonight. We begin with tonight's weather story. In 1959, a record-breaking snowstorm on March 4th through 6th began with light snow in western Iowa. On the morning of the 4th, then spread across the state and intensified with heavy snow falling from the night of the 4th through the 5th, and into the early morning on the 6th in eastern Iowa. The amount of snowfall and subsequent effects less severe in western Iowa and grow progressively worse moving eastward. In central Iowa, snowfall amounts were generally 6 to 10 inches, while in eastern Iowa, a swath of 12 to 20 inches of snow fell roughly from Apponeose County through Tama County and northeast to Alameda County. Reported storm total snowfall amounts included 12.9 inches in Waterloo, 14.5 inches in Decorah, 16 inches at Olwine, 17 at Oskaloosa, 17.6 inches in Dubuque, 19.8 inches in Marshalltown, where 17.8 inches fell in just 24 hours, and 22 inches at Fayette, where 21 inches fell in just 24 hours. Winds strengthened steadily during the course of the storm, with speeds reaching 30 to 50 miles per hour at times, causing extensive blowing and drifting of snow. Drifts 6 to 10 feet deep were common in the northeastern Iowa, with few locations reporting drifts 15 to 20 feet deep. All transportation and traffic came to a halt, and stranded cars, in some cases, completely covered by drifting snow. Most stalked and stranded vehicles were abandoned until the storm ended, including estimated 20,000 vehicles in Des Moines alone, where only 9.4 inches of snow fell. Businesses and schools were closed across the state. In some cases, school buses stalled, stranding dozens of children. One farm family in New Vinton sheltered and fed 63 Maroon students while the storm abated. Near Plano, a baby was born to a woman stranded in her vehicle. There were 19 deaths attributed to the storm, along with dozens of injuries. And now, to discuss more what's happening around the country, here's Nicole with your national forecast.
Right now, we're monitoring some thunderstorm chances moving across the state of Florida. The central and eastern U.S. portions of the U.S. are going to see some rain chances throughout the upper or next part of the week, and severe weather potential in Texas is going to come the next few days, but we'll have more on that coming right up.
What do you want to get?
Ice cream.
Chocolate?
Yeah.
Let's go, honey.
Together, we can find a child by signing up for free wireless Amber Alerts on your cell phone.
Welcome back, Nicole. Daylight savings time this weekend. Clocks are changing, am I right?
Yeah, it's everybody's favorite day of the year. On Sunday, we're moving our clocks forward. So unlike in the fall when we had the extra hour of sleep, we're actually going to be moving our clocks forward, and we're going to be losing that precious hour of sleep. It's everybody's most dreaded day of the year, but it marks some warmer temperatures coming up. As we can see right now, San Antonio already, even though the sun has already set, we're looking at a high of 81, or current temperature of 81 right now, 58 in Atlanta, 65 in Memphis, and up here in Iowa, we're sitting in the mid-40s. Pretty pleasant for right now since the sun has set. We'll get a bit colder as we move throughout the night. Right now, we're monitoring a cold front moving across the country, bringing some rain chances to the eastern Appalachian area and region. However, the main concern for tonight is going to be Florida, as they're going to be hit with 2 rounds of rainfall. Right now, we're seeing a marginal risk of severe weather in Florida, also in the Arkansas to eastern Texas area. We're going to be focusing on the Florida risk tonight, as it has the biggest chance for some heavy rain and some strong wind events as we move throughout the night. Right now, we're seeing that big swath of convection starting to move to the peninsula. It will eventually reach the peninsula around 9:30 p.m. tonight until it moves out. But we are going to see a second swath of storms start to generate and hit the peninsula again at 6:30 in the morning. So this will happen the first routine of it will happen overnight until we wake up in the morning, and you may notice a few rumbles of thunder and some lightning strikes. This will also move throughout the day it'll move throughout the day Tuesday until it moves back into the ocean Wednesday night. So if we have any early spring break trip goers out in Florida right now, just be aware of this tonight, as you could see some severe wind and hail threats as we move throughout the day, Tuesday and Wednesday night. And then again on Thursday, we're monitoring a slight chance of severe weather in the Dallas area in central Texas. We don't have too many details on the situation yet, but just be aware of that if you're traveling down to Texas, or if you have any friends and family down there, that there could be some severe weather happening in the area. Again, that will be on Thursday. For the rest of the country, as I mentioned before, we're looking at a great chance of some rainfall happening for the central to eastern portions of the country. Again, as I mentioned, Florida is going to see loads of rainfall, mainly from that system that's moving through tomorrow into Thursday afternoon. Again, Dallas is going to see some moderate to heavy rainfall amounts from that system that will be moving in Thursday. And then actually us up in Iowa will be seeing some rain showers, as Nico will get into a little bit later. Other than that, the rest of the central plains is going to see some great amounts of rainfall, which we need, and I'm definitely happy to see going into the springtime. As I mentioned, for Dallas, we have that storm potential on Friday, although tomorrow they're going to be staying in the 80s, as we saw on the current temperatures map earlier. They're sticking around normal in the 80s, as is expected in March. Then a cold front is actually moving through. It'll dip the temperatures down a little bit until we get that severe chance on Friday, after which we'll actually be seeing slightly cooler temperatures for the area, with a high of 59 on Saturday, high of 65 on Sunday. After that, we'll bump right back up to normal in the low to mid 70s for Dallas.
Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What's the highest observed wind gust in U.S. history? A, 302 miles per hour, B, 231 miles per hour, C, 251 miles per hour, D, 270 miles per hour. We'll have your answer coming up, but now let's take a look at the week ahead with Nico.
Currently looking out at the Iowa State University Memorial Union Skycam, you can see some pretty clear skies out there tonight. Not much going on. It's a beautiful night outside, so if you want to take your evening stroll, beautiful temperature outside, as I said, some clear skies with some light winds out of the west-northwest at only 7 miles an hour. And I will get more into detail on the week ahead coming up here shortly.
Welcome back. Nico, what are we looking like around Iowa this week?
So currently, it's been pretty mild out across the state, but we'll have some updates on the week ahead here shortly. You can see pretty warm temperatures for this time of year, with Mason City being our cold spot of 40 degrees, 44 in Waterloo, 46 Cedar Rapids, 51 in Des Moines, due to probably that heat island effect going on there. currently there's not really many clouds across our area. Some pretty clear skies in the southern parts of the state. Western Iowa may be seeing some more clouds moving through out of the west. But looking at the week ahead, you can see that we are going to continue this warm and dry spell that we've had recently into Thursday night once we start to get into Friday morning with those rain chances coming in, but quickly leaving as those above average temperatures are going to continue into next week. Looking at the dew points across the state, you can see there's a pretty big gradient across the state. 7-degree dew points in Sioux City, 18 in Council Bluffs, all the way up to 42 and 40 in Davenport and Burlington. But 26 in Ames, 20 in Des Moines, so nothing really to complain about here in central Iowa. But those aren't really helping the drought across the state very much at all. As you can see, there is a pretty critical drought across northeastern Iowa, which unfortunately, looking into the future rainfall where that'll be falling, it will not help that out very much at all. As you can see, we won't really have any action leading up into Thursday morning, but Thursday afternoon, you can see is when that rainfall really begins to move across the state with those isolated localized areas of heavy precip around Iowa City and Mount Pleasant, which are unfortunately not in the regions of, or the areas of critical drought. But looking at the overnight low tonight in Ames, we are looking at 29 degrees with mostly clear skies, maybe some clouds moving across into the late overnight hours with some pretty light winds out of the north-northeast at 9 miles an hour. Looking at tomorrow, another beautiful day across the state. In Ames, we're going to be hitting 57 degrees, which is way above average for this time of year, with some winds out of the southeast at 13 miles an hour. And looking into the week ahead here in Ames, we can see that those temperatures for the next couple of days will stay pretty warm with that cold front coming through on Friday, bringing us those showers, quickly returning back up to well above average temperatures, topping out at 71 on Tuesday.
Thank you, Nico, for that forecast.
Of course.
Now let's review tonight's trivia question. The trivia question was, what is the highest observed wind gust in U.S. history? A, 302 miles per hour, B, 231 miles per hour, C, 251 miles per hour, or D, 276 miles per hour? What do you guys think it is?
I don't know. 302 seems pretty fast. I might have to go with 231. That seems pretty reasonable to me.
I would have to agree. 302, man, that just seems too high.
Yeah,
what do you think, Nicole?
Well, I'm going to be a little bit different than you guys. I'm going to go with 251 just to add some variety.
All right, the answer is B, 231 miles per hour, which was recorded on the top of Mount Washington in 1934. It's an old record right there.
Yeah, that's
You were just mentioning to us that you saw really high wind gusts in California?
Yeah, I think it was around 180 miles an hour, 190, something like that, due to the blizzard that's going on there right now. Yeah, I couldn't imagine feeling that in person.
No, it gets pretty windy in here in Iowa during the spring, but definitely not that windy.
For sure.
231, that's enough to blow your hat off. That concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter, as you can find all of our shows on YouTube under Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful night.